Hey everybody, it's your boy G Nathan here with another video. I'm so sorry that I have done the Thundermans Undercover reviews. I've been busy with a lot of work lately. Today I'm gonna do one. And yeah, I'll do episode 9 to 13. This 13 being the last episode for the first half of the season. And they said the new episode will be coming in soon, so we'll see that soon. So yeah. I end it right here. I can start a review for episode 9. Okay, the first episode, episode 9, No Friend in Sight. That's the one with Max and Phoebe try to make new friends because Chloe is feeling she doesn't get, I don't know, she feels like they're always too much around her and she doesn't really like it. And so she tells them to make a friend, get friends involved, try to make new friends, and they do. They meet up with the girl from Liv and Maddie, Willow. Her name is Willow, and I forgot her name was on the show already. I literally forgot. But yeah, and I thought that plot was good. They wanted to see them get new friends. Also, didn't work out. It wouldn't have been nice to see them still be friends with that girl. At least it wasn't, to me, I'm glad they kind of tried to. And it didn't go bad like I thought it was going to be at first. Well, as bad. They embarrassed themselves in a way, but yeah. Then, the Chloe's part of this episode, she ended up bringing a pelican to the house. And she called Jinx and Kabucha, which doesn't. I really think they weren't really needed to be in this episode, in my opinion. But like Jinx and Kabucha, but either way, I guess they kind of brought in just to have them inside the plot to make the plot a little bit longer, episode longer. The episode was alright. It wasn't something that I thought it was good, but then it wasn't good at the same time. I didn't think it was too good to the point that I don't think I'd watch it again. Like I would with certain episodes. So I'll give this episode a 6 out of 10. Definitely, it still has potential to be watched again. I give it 6.5 out of 10 or 7. Yeah, 7. Between a 6.5 to 7 out of 10. I'll give it that. So next is episode 10. Okay, episode 10, all about Steve. We got Billy returning to this episode. This time, he brings in a kid because since he feels lonely that what's it called, Nora isn't there no more, and since she went to abroad to, I forgot what she went to abroad for, but she feels left out, so he decides to get a potential sidekick with him, which is a kid, and he asks Phoebe and Max if he can show them who he is and who they is and what their powers should be used for. And of course they say yes. They're hesitant at first, yeah. Chloe convinces them not to say yes because she feels like it could lead to a bad idea. And of course the kid wants to be part of the T-Force. And Steve is a very big fan of Thundermans, of the T-Force itself. He knows a lot of stuff about BB and Max already. and what they could do, what they had done. But I thought it was kind of creepy, but I would not want to have someone that I barely even know a lot of things about myself. Basically, Steve's power is basically s'mores. Basically, in my opinion, basically you make s'mores, make candies, marshmallows and stuff. When he finds, they both tell themselves they would not invite him because they thought his powers were lame. Both Phoebe and Max think his powers were lame, but they lie to Billy saying they're good. But then eventually they tell the truth. But Chloe's plot, I thought it was kind of interesting because I didn't know who, because Jinx comes in telling them that he has a crush on some girl, and in my head I thought it made it seem like he had a crush also on Chloe or Kabucha, which they both assumed was one of them, and they were both eventually wrong, and stuff. What? Oh damn it! No, it's itching so much. Okay. Episode 10, all about Steve. We got Billy returning to this episode. This time, he brings in a kid because since he feels lonely that what's it called, Nora isn't there no more, and since she went to abroad to, I felt she went to abroad for, but she feels left out, so he decides to get a potential sidekick, bid him, which is a kid, and he asks BB and Max if he can show them who he is and who they is and what their powers should be used for. And of course I say yes. They're hesitant at first, yeah. Chloe convinces them not to say yes because she feels like it could lead to a bad idea. And of course the kid wants to be part of the T-Force, and that Steve is a very big fan of Thundermans, of the T-Force itself. He knows a lot of stuff about BB and Max already, and what they could do, what they had done. But I thought it was kind of creepy, but I would not want to have someone that I barely even know a lot of things about myself. Basically, Steve's power is basically s'mores. Basically, in my opinion, basically you make s'mores, make candies, marshmallows and stuff. When he finds, they both tell themselves they would not invite him because they thought his powers were lame. Both Phoebe and Max think his powers were lame, but they lie to Billy saying they're good. But then eventually they tell the truth. But Chloe's plot, I thought it was kind of interesting because I didn't know who, because Jinx comes in telling them that he has a crush on some girl, and in my head I thought it made it seem like he had a crush also on Chloe or Kabucha, which they both assumed was one of them, and they were both eventually wrong, and stuff. What? Oh damn it! No, it's itching so much. Okay, that part. Okay, that part got. I'm still continuing on episode 10. It got cut off. Anyways, I was saying, Steve finds out Max and Phoebe really don't care about his powers, and he gets mad. He gets revenge on them. leaving Max and Phoebe inside the room where all the devices are at, but he locks them in there, changing the code and everything. They eventually get out because Chloe shows up after finding out that Jinx does not really have a crush on her. There's some other girl. She teleports him out. And I felt bad for God Colossal. He got himself he got himself in there. And I was playing it, but I thought that was pretty funny. Eventually the kid gets kicked out of the house and goes to jail. I do see him coming back, getting revenge again on the Thundermans. So yeah, that's all. Oh yeah, I'm gonna give this episode I say this episode a 8 out of 10, 8.5 out of 10. Definitely rewatchable. I definitely could rewatch this episode again and stuff. And yeah, let me know what you thought about this episode. And yeah, let's go on episode 11. Episode 11, Tide and Prejudice. The episode was about the foreign protector returning to the house where Max, Phoebe, and Chloe all live. It's kind of making them making it harder for them to learn, and also Chloe kind of stands up for herself, saying that they don't ever hear her ideas or what she has to say about on the missions, and she's telling them that she feels like something's gonna go wrong, and she don't trust the person. The foreign protector, I forgot his name already, but he tries to steal the home, and we see Jinx and Kabucha at the school. I forgot what they were doing, but they were there. They also get involved in this part after later on they get involved, almost leading to them giving away their secret. The former protector kind of traps them. He traps them inside the house, and it took them a while to get the starfish off their face. What else is hard for them? Everything else evolving there, that was it was like, eventually found a way by letting Dr. Colosso taking it off for them. I'm glad we saw another villain. I consider him a villain. I consider him a villain in this episode. They eventually get out. They go back to the school, but they find out that he's there, and there was a fire alarm or something went off at the school. They listen to Chloe's plan this time. It goes well, and the foreign protector gets taken away because he was never meant to go back because that's what Principal Kickbuck said. Kickback. President Kickbuck said. And yeah, I gave this episode a. In case you didn't hear, I will give that episode a 7.5 out of 10. I definitely needed to be. Well, actually, no. I give it an 8.5 out of 9. 8.5. Definitely good. I think it still was a good plot, and I wasn't expecting it. Okay, episode 12, Prank You Next. It was a directorial debut for Kira Carcerin. The writer was Chris Tallman, which is the dad from the show. Anyways, Max basically spends money for a go-kart and then helping other causes for the school, which is typical. I see Max doing that. They kind of like it's something I will see Max do, and then change that part of him. Max gets pranked, and I was shocked who. Well, actually, no, I was not too shocked because I figured it would have to be Chloe, which I'll explain to y'all later about. He gets pranked, and he started getting more pranked, and so he calls Principal Bradford from the original series, which I'm so glad he did because I was wondering when he's gonna come back. He asked for Principal Bradford's advice, how he do it whenever Max was basically prank him. I honestly thought it was really good. I really like this episode a lot. So I'm giving this rating already 10 out of 10, which was so good. He learns from him. He gets pranked again when he goes back to the school. Phoebe kind of has to watch over this egg, but she allows Dr. Colossus to watch over it. Yeah, she becomes a little obsessed with it. And really gets bad because the only reason she has it because Kabucha gives it to her to watch over while she's doing something else. Max, once he got pranked again, he made it seem like he wants to leave Sugasaurs and not become anymore a protector. He wanted to go back home. Chloe kind of thinks it too, but then she didn't at the same time. Because Matt kind of figured it was her that did it. I was shocked. I kind of was shocked by that, but not shocked. But I'm glad that they kept that angle from having Chloe be it, because as throughout the season, I kind of figured she would become somebody similar to Max. And yeah, I thought this episode was really good. Like I said, I thought both episodes were pretty good, and it kind of gets you back to the original vibes. That's like callbacks, and we see Principal Bradford get pranked again at the end of the episode because Max facing back. So yeah, Carol Carson did a really good episode by directing it, and Chris Tallman did really good by writing the storyline. So definitely 10 out of 10. It gave me It gave me the original vibes that Max used to be the prankster on the original series. Now we got Chloe, so maybe we have potential of maybe seeing Chloe doing pranks pretty soon on this series. Hopefully they get season 2. So yeah, that's the end for this video, and I'll see you for episode 13. Okay, for episode 13, of season 1, it's called From Dusk Till Dawn. We get a evil supervillain this time called Stardust, which I'm glad they're starting to get. Like I said before, that they finally have more supervillains coming out on this season in the series. I heard that Kiara Carcerin didn't see this show getting a season 2. I don't know why you're getting. Is it moving? I don't know why they're doing that. But yeah, anyways, we get I'm glad we see more villains on this show. And glad I have been doing a school trip because it kind of gives me a suspicion if they're gonna get their secret pulled out. We get this character name. I forgot her name, and she's kind of like a bossy girl to Chloe and everyone else. And she calls herself a leader of the group. and Chloe's afraid of her, even bossing everyone around. It's and basically the supervillain Stardust kind of his goal is try to get everyone sucked into Secret Source into a black hole, which is very interesting plot for him, and it's very I'm glad that we kind of get like a darker side of the story, something we were not expecting. The what's it called? The villain has a device that can basically he forgets that he left it at the trip, and Max and Phoebe both had to go back home because they both were supposed to supervise the trip. They go back home, try to deactivate the device, and they try to think more and more and more about what to do. They eventually thought of a plan by doing the twin power, which I'm glad they brought that back. I'm very glad they brought it back because I was wondering when they're gonna do it because I'm glad I wanted to see in the movie, which it didn't work. But did it work? I don't remember. I can't remember if it worked or not. It's been a while since I've seen the movie again. But yeah, I'm glad they brought that back. I'm gonna end this part right here because it keeps and go off in a few seconds. Okay, like I was saying that I'm glad we get a super villain that could do that. I'm glad they brought back the twin power of Max and Phoebe. During that time they were doing it, the Stardust appears at the trip again, taunting the trip for the kids, and the girl gets scared, so Chloe becomes the boss and leading them, telling them what to do, what not to do. Which I thought was really good. I'm glad Chloe did something. She's always putting her foot down for Max and Phoebe. I'm glad she's finally stepped in and put her foot down against that girl trying to take over. That's what she needed to do for this episode, and it was done really well. We see the mastermind come back at the end of the episode. Looking at the camera in a way because we've seen that happen in the first episode, I believe. So yeah, I definitely give this episode a 10 out of 10. Okay, okay, everyone. This is the ending of the video. I was hoping there's more villains being involved. Like I said, I've been saying the last few times on each of these reviews of this show. Do you hope there's more villains? Because and just so in your opinion, leave it down in the comments below. I hope everyone's had a good day today, and let me know what you thought about this episode, these last few episodes as well. I think I really only enjoyed the last 3, I believe. The last few, well, yeah, I think the last 5 episodes haven't been the best, but they've been at least the good ones have been like the Prank You Next, From Dusk to Dawn, and all About Steve. I really enjoyed those episodes the most of this sort of season, and yeah. Let me know in the comments below what you think about the season so far, and we'll be seeing more episodes coming soon. Thanks for watching. I hope all y'all have a nice rest of your day. Later.